Another report from the road, Bilderberg 2012. I want to go over some breaking news as well. Bottom line, we have a lot of criminal special interests that are using psychological warfare, corporate welfare, using our own money against us, different types of psychological manipulation to control society. And it's all around us. You know, the average cop watching this can say, hey, I'm a good guy. I help people change their tires all day and give people that are speeding tickets. Fine. But the system above you, the direction of the society, is anti-family, anti-national sovereignty, anti-private property, anti-real health. It is a predatory, anti-human, eugenics perspective that the globalists are on record putting forward. And everything that's being done, I like to use the example of $20+ billion of taxpayer money to ship General Motors to Brazil, Mexico, Eastern Europe, and China. And now you can type in the headline, Cadillac and Volt made in China. This Chevy product made in Brazil. On and on and on. You pay to have your jobs destroyed. They want you dependent. They don't like the fact that we're gun owners. They don't like the fact that our ancestors were uppity. The American system is to be destroyed. And on its ashes, they want to build a police state. Now, I want to talk here about why confronting Bilderberg is so important and what I'm going to be saying via Bullhorn. Come on in, Richard. What I'm going to be saying via Bullhorn to Bilderberg. But Aaron, I haven't even asked you this question yet. You didn't even know you'd be on camera, but you're sitting over there. We just finished gassing up here at the truck stop. We're about to leave. Why do you think it's important to confront Bilderberg?
Well, because it's the military-industrial complex. Why they set up an illegitimate world government, which we already don't want. They're busy doing insider deals and under-the-table deals, which are totally corrupt, costing lives, and they're genocidal. Not to mention their eugenics philosophy is very damning. In a nutshell.
That's right. And the Bilderberg Group are the people, from their documents we've gotten from our sources over the years. They are the people setting up the world government. A world government, not like Star Trek where everybody's kumbaya, but where it's dictatorial and the people don't have any say. Okay? And in the final equation, that's the big issue here at the end of the day. These are predatory people who didn't want you to even think they existed. They talk to you like a child, a Jedi mind trick. There's no global government. The derivatives aren't going to be used to get the countries under the control of the central banks. There's no fractional reserve banking. There's no, the Federal Reserve is federal. Don't listen to these extremist police officers and military. The Federal Reserve 15 years ago would teach them, the Federal Reserve is federal. These are dangerous people telling you that. Now it's admitted that it's private. And everything we warned you about is coming true because it's an open conspiracy. They propagandize the general public. They implant the TV shows, you name it, with anti-liberty messages. But in their own policy reports, even in the Economist magazine, Financial Times of London, they admit what they're doing. So when I'm there, I'm going to point out to the Bilderberg Group that if you go back to the 1850s, the British elite families and royalty, the intelligentsia that set up the modern system that they follow. And again, it's passed on like a university or passed on like a religion or passed on like a club. It's passed on person to person, so it's almost a real-time continuum based on a fraud of survival of the fittest, social Darwinism, that the general public are crap, that we're garbage. So the globalists then didn't just follow pure eugenics that's 160-year-old, roughly, where they say they're going to make the beautiful and the smart more beautiful and smart and then stop the breeding of the dumb and the ugly. That's bad enough. We knew that would lead to evil. It would be used as a tool of control. The globalists actually seek to make people dumb and ugly and brutish and petty to fit into their worldview so they can then be assembly line soft-killed and culled and then have their numbers reduced in even more of not a Cold War but a hot war extermination program that these controllers are building towards. So that's what I want to warn you about here, is that this is happening, this agenda is real, and it does not have your best interest at heart. And things are moving very quickly now, and people have been taught to be selfish. They think they're going to get ahead. If they don't care, they think they're going to get ahead. If they just stab people in the back and all this. This has been taught to us: torture, secret arrest, brutality, that our rights are silly and that there's no reason to have them, and that we should worship the state and worship authority, and that's patriotism. We know in North Korea and Mexico and Guatemala and Nigeria and places, the police are agents of corruption and oppression in places like North Korea, places like Russia to a great extent today. But then, oh, here, don't question them at all. They're just doing their job. Everything's fine. While they take on the training and the uniforms and the activities of what every other authoritarian system has done. So I'm going to point out in detail to the Bilderberg group while bullhorning them coming up here in about 2 days in Chantilly, Virginia, that they are digging their own grave. And that's not some threat physically from me. Historically, when elites knock down laws to dominate and control, then there's no protections left for them, and other elites are going to gobble them up as well. And that's something, a precept in history that's well known. And that the eugenicists of the 1850s interbred 5 families. You can look into it. Our film Endgame, Blueprint for Global Enslavement, covers it. They believed they would create superhumans. They created 90+% totally retarded, deformed, or stillbirths. And the 10%, or it was really about 9% that survived and went on. You can look at the breeding charts. They're online. They're quite proud of them. Were still very, very screwed up. You guys say you're going to merge with technology, merge with nanotech. Whatever you do is going to be just fine. Everything you do is a mutation that's natural because you're a human that develops. Whatever you do is a natural mutation. You're going to destroy yourselves along with us in your mad dash to play God. And it's that simple. Now, I have a few items here. Rob, you'll come around. I want to show people here. How long have we been going, Rob?
6 minutes, almost 7.
Okay, fantastic. Right here. This is just in WGN-TV. 25 shot overnight in Chicago. Separate shootings throughout the city. New York, Chicago. The few cities where you have almost total gun ban for the citizens. Criminals are running wild. People got 6, 7 locks on their doors. They've got National Guard on the streets. The police are totally corrupt. This is the big city mafia, big city machine, gangs of New York system that we don't want, that the globalists, like Mayor Bloomberg, are paying with grants to export to all the cities across the country. Now come back over here. It's important for people that are going to be the enforcers to realize this is happening. Now, I want to show you now some other stories that deal with Bilderberg. Well, let's look at this police state story first. Before I go back to Bilderberg. Look at this short clip of an AOL story that we have linked up at Infowars.com. And I can't play the whole thing for copyright reasons, but fair use, I can show you a short clip. Go watch the whole thing for yourself. New unpleasant cop siren adopted around the country. All over the nation and worldwide, they're putting in systems that send out ultra-low frequency around business fronts to make people go away if they think they're annoying. But you don't even know what's hitting you and what's uncomfortable. This is sound warfare. They're now using sound cannons everywhere against peaceful people. Microwave guns that are illegal to use in warfare, but they use against us. And in this piece, they hit old ladies with it, and they say it's scary, it hurts, it vibrates your organs. It's been linked, similar technologies, to all sorts of cellular damage. That's why they say don't do an ultrasound until 4 months. So they're basically blasting you audibly, but also with an ultra-low frequency that vibrates your brain, your organs, you name it. It's called the howler. And the cop in here says, that he needs it to feel safe. And people get out of his way quicker because he hits them with sound. And again, it's all about getting in your person, the TSA touching your genitals. All of this, it's all about breaking down that common law belief, hey, that you've got some value. And that you've got some space, and that the state is there to serve you, not the state's there and you serve them. And that's the new patriotism, they tell us. And the police call us civilians because they're military. No, you're a civilian too. You're under civilian law. They want us under military law. Military means martial, command of the general, martial law. We're being eased into martial law. Here it is. And it's an incredible piece. He goes on to say, I want you to feel me when I'm coming down here towards the end. But listen to this. It'll buffer there for just a second. It's just absolutely amazing.
I don't know if I could go back to just a regular siren and feel safe with it.
Like a big subwoofer, the howler sends out a low-frequency vibration up to 200 feet. You can see flashing lights, you can hear a siren, but the howler you feel. In an age of texting,
Oh, yeah, in this age, you're not paying attention. They need to hit you. And then down here, again, he goes on to say, I want you to feel me. I want you to feel me.
But Bartow police say they've worked out a package deal worth the
expense to make sure that we're seen, heard, and felt in order.
And it's got old ladies saying it scares them and things. And again, they're just going to ratchet this up. It's like the taser kills a bunch of people, so they increase the power on them. It was always called less lethal. They're just training you to be assaulted for almost no reason now. And it's because they're getting rid of the checks and balances. The elite has decided to go to an authoritarian model. The Rand Corporation wrote those papers. I remember reading them 14 years ago and warning people. This is all a public plan. Now, let me bring back up the Bilderberg news here for folks. What are we at, about 10 minutes?
10 minutes, 35.
Okay, I want to finish this up here in just a few minutes. Let's look at this report. This is up at drudgereport.com as well. This is an Infowars.com story. Bilderberg concerned over mass protest. And you scroll down here. We have sources inside. We discovered the code name this year. They're very upset about that. They had Marines in plain clothes, Secret Service, Diplomatic Security Corps there 4 years ago. Tried to set us up, tried to do a lot of stuff to us, but by the grace of God, we made it out. This time, they are freaking out, according to our source. And again, they're still holding it there. They haven't pulled out. They held it there in, 2002, then again 2008. We're going to be there, need to see you there, but we've got inside intel in this article. Get this out to everybody. Again, it's at Infowars.com, red linked. It's also at drudgereport.com if you want to find a report on that. In closing, I wanted to raise one more issue here, and I'm going to do a full video on this tomorrow if I have time. I'm trying to find the tabs here, but I want to actually go through it and show people the actual video. New info has come out on the zombie in South Beach, Florida, eating the guy's face and blood everywhere. All we said was, hey, we should question this. We're not saying it isn't true. But we said cocaine doesn't do this. Cocaine doesn't make you do this. Prozac or other hallucinogen classes do. The police are now saying, hey, get your story right. He wasn't on cocaine. He was on LSD, we think. All I know is they said on the news, the police said, the footage we saw was from when the cop first got there. He barely comes over for 5 seconds. We don't see any shots. He walks off. And the other guy, the whole time that supposedly he's eating the guy's face, he never moves. And the other guy they come get up, we can't see any blood. We're looking at the tape here. Now they've got a witness saying he saw all this, but what he describes isn't what we witnessed on the tape. So all we're saying is, in a system that lies congenitally, if you hear a story that sounds too crazy to be true, it might be. I mean, now, if the cops just shoot me, remember the guy on the DART platform a few years ago, and the cop put him in handcuffs in San Francisco and shot him in the back of the train station, and then they had come out and said, well, he attacked us. Well, people were shooting video. They'd confiscated the other videos, but people in the train had shot video. The guy's in handcuffs, they shoot him in the back. The cops all together said he'd attacked them and told witnesses to shut up. People said, hey, don't question, this is the time. I was right. I'm bad because I'm right. Because in a world of universal deceits, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. I'm not saying people on hallucinogens, PCP, Prozac, and things can't flip out and do things like this. Okay, I'm not saying this couldn't be real. I'm saying the footage they say is the whole unedited event. People were commenting on the YouTube saying, this is after. No, it's back on the news saying, here it is as it happens. I don't see the cop. I see him come over for a second. I see the guy they say is the zombie, the crazy man laying there. The other guy's laying there. I don't see any of this. So if the cops just shoot you today because you're eating somebody's face, do they say, oh, we killed Alex Jones, he was a zombie? He was, did the cops shoot the other guy in the face? I'm not saying that's what happened. But when I've been lied to over and over again, when I've seen all these squad car videos that come out where they plant drugs on somebody, or all over the U.S. now they pull you over, take the cash out of your wallet. Especially in Florida, some of the most corrupt police in the world, dipping their beak in all the narcotics money. I would be insane to just mindlessly believe what they have to say. Anyways, I'm going to do big reports tomorrow on Bilderberg. It's really heating up. And we'll be getting to Virginia very, very soon. I'm Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. You can follow these uploaded reports. We also do them live, but we're out here on the edge of Tennessee and Virginia. So there's not very good cell service. We've got to upload this so doing a live stream. But we'll send out Twitters at Real Alex Jones to let you know when those reports are coming out. And starting tomorrow, we have something special tomorrow dealing with drones. Believe me, this is going to be incredible. So be sure and watch for that. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. Bilderberg concerned over mass protest.